Hey guys, Nicholai I'm here, back at you with another video. This time we're going to be responding to Dana Loesch. Now this is going to be a more politically oriented one, so if you're not interested in that kind of stuff, I'll have other videos with theology soon. I've also done some live streams that you can check out that were pretty lengthy, where I responded to several different creators and things of that nature, particularly the first one, and talked about some of the theology. So if you want to go there, go ahead and go there. I appreciate everyone, and let's get into it.
Do you think that some of this is maybe the consequence of, it's great to have a coalition or a big tent, but there's certain things that are just persona non grata in a coalition. And using identity politics like the left ought to be one of them. Is some of this a failure to enforce that?
Oh, certainly. I just wrote about this in the Free Press, by the way, talking about the foolishness
Yes.
of the no enemies to the right principle. I think it's just it's it's um, it's not just foolish. It's immoral. To not draw
Um,
lines, to not be willing to say, there are certain people that you won't lock arms with. Um,
get
a
it
lot of
out.
these are things that the right. There was a lot more moral clarity on the right several years ago, where
This is the same argument. The same. This is repeat. All these people are mask off now. It's the same argument these people made about Donald Trump. I guarantee you, if we go back far enough, Dana Loesch was one of those people saying, Donald Trump is a misogynist, he's horrible, blah, 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 blah. We have to support a real principled conservative like Ted Cruz or Rand Paul, these lame people. Completely incoherent. And I guarantee you Seth Dillon was one of them as well. These people have the political acumen of a low IQ, inbred, 10-year-old. It's they're like baiting. It's like, oh, conservatives. It's like, what? These people are just addicted to losing and addicted to being the most ineffective political force that the world has ever seen until Donald Trump came. It wasn't until Donald Trump made people unashamed to actually say what they believe that a lot of right-wing views we were on the back foot all of the 2010s. And people are like, oh, the reason the left lost is they got extreme on trans. Trans issue was not even on anyone's radar in 2016. It was like tertiary there, but it wasn't like the main issue. It started becoming a bigger issue in 2019, and then by 2020, it had blown up under Biden. Okay, it got extreme, it got big, and these people were nowhere to be seen. There were people, they as soon as gay marriage was decided, they gave up. They're like, ah, who cares what they do in their rooms? They gave up on gay marriage. They gave up on all sorts of conservative principles. These are the same people that say tariffs aren't right wing, which they clearly are. These people have gone mask off every chance they get a chance to do so. When it looks like Trump might be faltering on some issue, they're right there to criticize him. Whenever Trump is on a bender and just absolutely getting win after win, these people are pretty silent. They're some of the most inconsistent people. And some of these people, by the way, they choose one pet issue to get all bent out of shape about all the time. Second Amendment. I'll be straight up. Any conservative worth their salt would say, I'll give up the Second Amendment in 5 seconds if it meant abortion is banned. I'll give up the Second Amendment in 5 seconds if it meant we became an isolationist country again and became homogenous. That's not going to happen, but these people make their entire personality that. Entire personality.
the alt right or this white supremacist kind of like equal but opposite reaction to like the leftist Antifa thugs. Like everybody kind of saw that as being this really fringe, really nasty thing that we didn't want any part of, and we distinguished between ourselves and them. We're like, they keep calling Trump, and his supporters Nazis and Hitler and whatever. Like we're not like that. There may be people like that on the fringe far right, but we're not like them. We would distinguish between now there are calls to join with them and to bring them into the movement and make them.
No one's calling to normalize some guy who sits there and LARPs about being a World War II Nazi, which there are almost none, okay? There are people that would like a honest reassessment of our interventionist attitudes since World War One, which World War One was the beginning of this disastrous foreign policy that we've adopted. But that's not really the same thing. And there are some people who don't think Hitler was as cackling evil as people make him out to be, and that might or might not be true. Okay, I'm not going to really I'm not going to reevaluate the history of World War II. First off, it was a long time ago. Almost no one's alive that even cares about it, except for people that are obsessed with moralizing. And the moralizing right are the ones that were the losers. They were the losers who lost all the time, every time. They're the ones that had lost every major cultural victory for the last 80 years. Every single one. There's not been a single right wing movement towards the right. And no, Reagan was not right wing. Reagan was a milquetoast moderate. And he was just an effective milquetoast moderate, far less effective after he got shot, by the way, which suggests he might have not been entirely there after that. He might have not been himself after that. These are the same people that these same people would have disavowed Nixon, even though Nixon did nothing wrong. Nixon did nothing worthy of being impeached over, and he was one of the best, most effective presidents during the post World War II consensus for the right. Major cultural victory for the right was Nixon just sweeping, and we just tossed him into the gutter. But by the way, Nixon's words and the way he spoke about people and different like groups and stuff like that would have made these people blush, and yet they're clutching pearls about Matt Walsh saying, I'm not going to disavow Tucker Carlson just because Tucker Carlson is like mildly critical, and by the way, mildly critical of Israel and our foreign policy stature. That's it. And by the way, Tucker Carlson still has the ear of the president. He still talks to him. He still talks to JD Vance. Where are these people? Why are you guys not in the White House? Oh, that's right, because you guys are the most ineffective political force the world has ever seen. You guys are losers, and Trump doesn't like losers, right? Now, is that to say that Trump is perfect or that there aren't issues in the right? No, of course not. But there is nothing even remotely comparable to Antifa in the right. There's just not. No one is suggesting we go into prisons and ally yourselves with skinheads as if they're right wing. No one is suggesting that the right needs to convert itself to a fascist movement, which like name me the group that we're trying to ally with. Is like Candace Owens asking us to be fascist? Is Tucker Carlson asking us to be fascist? Listen, I've made some massive criticisms of Candace Owens in recent days because I think she's frankly kind of stupid, and she's basically given up talking about cultural issues. So why is she even relevant in this talking point? Matt Walsh's point, which she's like, let's be honest, that's what she's talking about. Matt Walsh's point has been principled conservatives that want to see the left destroyed, we need to keep allied with. Tucker Carlson's one of them. Tucker Carlson is a cultural force. He is a force to be reckoned with. How many people actually care about what Dana Loesch says? Almost no one. How many people care about what Seth Dillion says? Almost no one. Babylon Bee was kind of mildly funny, just mildly funny, back in like the mid 2010s and early Trump era, because they would poke fun at basically any issue, though they went too far in certain ways. These are the same people that are going to whine and moan and groan that Christians actually are growing a spine. They're going to whine, moan, and groan that Christians are actually growing a spine. Yeah, we're done We're done allowing blaspheming. We're done allowing libertarians to constantly moralize and tell us that their moral system and framework is superior to Christianity. It isn't. It's what got us in this mess in the first place. Small government conservatism has failed. So what is a conservative? My answer to you is a conservative is somebody who seeks to conserve and restore the natural order of things. Yeah. One who wishes to conserve and restore the natural order. And that can be in many different systems of government. That can be in many different ideological frameworks. But first and foremost, we actually want to be effective. We're not small government. Small government conservatism is a aberration. The conservative movement, the Republican Party, was never small government until like the 80s and 90s. Late 80s, early 90s was when this idea of a quote unquote small government conservative, any like 90% of the conservatives prior to that would have laughed at you. Small government? No, we're going to use the government to achieve our ends and win. That's what they would have cared about.
Part of the movement. And no one so far has explained to me, first of all, how that's morally justified, but also how is it politically expedient? How does it help us? How could it do anything but hurt us to bring people who are collectivist? Yeah, they engage in these race-based groups.
There it goes. Collectivism is wrong, guys. Just go back to the way things were. This lame thing. By the way, these people hate JD Vance. Hate JD Vance because JD Vance understands the nature of people. These people don't.
Grievance things.
You can't fight human nature. Human nature is tribal, collectivist. So the question is not whether or not we're going to be collectivists or not. The question is which form of collectivism is going to win.
They're supremacists. They're just filled.
I have never met anybody who is a overt supremacist. I know people that are race realists, and I have some disagreements with those people because I think their focus and orientation is wrong. But I've never met somebody who's like, I'm a white supremacist. And the very small minutia there is, who cares? There's so few and far in between, so few of them, that who cares? Like they have no meaningful voice on the issues that matter domestically. Okay, they're critical of Israel. Let me go get worried about something that's irrelevant. Israel should be the last thing on our radar. And frankly, I'm happy this Gaza and Palestine thing is something the Trump administration is trying to finally end so that we can just completely divorce ourselves from this shit show that is the Middle East. And that we never have to think about frickin' Bibi Netanyahu or Israel ever again. Because it does no good for us, and it's only harmed us for the last 30 years of my entire lifetime. My entire lifetime has been nothing but foreign incursions into the Middle East. I have my criticisms of Trump about being too unwilling to cut off Zelensky. But even on that issue, he's better than what we would have gotten, so I can't complain too much. The fact of the matter is we need every single voice we can get to prevent the left narrative from re-gripping the American people about these things. We're making so much progress in so many areas, and you want to just hand it back to the left because there's a few neo-Nazis who they might make us look bad. Who cares? No one cares about those people. Just say, yeah, they don't represent most of the right, and they're not going around killing people like the left does. That's all you have to say. If you really don't want to ally yourselves with those people ideologically, just say that. But they don't have the moral clarity to do so.
Filled with bigotry and hatred. They have authoritarian impulses.
Yes, the right should be authoritarian.
They're collectivists. Like you add all of these things up, and it's like, how could we possibly benefit from?
We're not libertarian. Conservatism does not equal libertarian light. Are these people stupid? They would have called Teddy Roosevelt, McKinley, Grover, Ulysses S. Grant, all of the Lincoln, Nixon, all of these people they would have called. In fact, most of the Democrat presidents too were far more right-leaning than the modern GOP. They would have called all of them authoritarian bigots, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. You have no respect for what founded this country.
From having them in the conservative movement. That doesn't make any sense. This is a real reckoning for conservatives to decide what is our identity. What is a conservative? That's the next question that we need to be asking. We had that question about what is a woman. Now we need to have it about what is a conservative.
Not you. That's certainly true. We don't want people that are ineffective. All right, guys. Well, if you liked my content here, please check out my stuff below. In the bio, we have my business, the book that I wrote, and also um, my PayPal and things like that. We also have, finally, we reached the goal of getting to super chat, stickers, and all that other stuff. I did apply for memberships because I do plan on doing membership only videos eventually here, probably within the next week. If it's approved. I still have to wait for them to approve it, but once it's approved, which I'm sure it will be, we'll be doing memberships as well. There were two tiers that I had to do, and I'm like, I don't really want to do two tiers, but I had to, so I had no choice. So they're like a $1 difference between the two tiers. So and there's really no meaningful difference because I don't plan on like excluding anybody. From any of the perks. So eventually I'm going to try and figure that out. But for now, it is what it is. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day and please like, share, and subscribe.